Hello, welcome back. We have a new day. It's Thursday. I've been out shopping 2 times today. It's a little bit hot today in my living room, but I like to close the door when I record this computer voice video. Buy a new external hard drive like this. I have it here. So I got 4,600 more gigabytes. I think I buy another one next month. That's like $130. I will be low on money. My whole summer I will be low on money. But I did finish downloading even more PDF I have here, but that will take the whole summer to read it. Will take many months to read it. But I was to read about aircrafts, airport and aviation. I still like to do that, but let's just continue a bit with my cars, because I have a lot of papers with cars from last year. So let's just read a bit more.
History of the automobile. The Ford Model T, foreground, and Volkswagen Beetle, background, are among the most mass-produced car models in history. Development of the automobile started in 1672 with invention of the first steam-powered vehicle, which led to the creation of the first steam-powered automobile capable of human transportation. Built by Nicholas Joseph Cugnot in 1769. 3. Inventors began to branch out at the start of the 19th century, creating the reverse engine, one of the first internal combustion engines. 4. And an early electric motor. 5. Samuel Brown later tested the first industrially applied internal combustion engine in 1826. 6. Development was hindered in the mid-19th century by a backlash against large vehicles, yet progress continued on some internal combustion engines. The engine evolved as engineers created 2- and 4-cycle combustion engines and began using gasoline as fuel. The first modern car, a practical, marketable automobile for everyday use, and the first car put into series production appeared in 1886. When Carl Benz developed a gasoline-powered automobile and made several identical copies. 7. 8. Later automobile production was marked by the Ford Model T, created by the Ford Motor Company in 1908, which became the first automobile to be mass-produced on a moving assembly line. 9. Power sources. The early history of the automobile was concentrated on the search for a reliable portable power unit to propel the vehicle. Steam-powered wheeled vehicles. 17th and 18th centuries. Cugnot steam wagon, the second, 1771, version. Ferdinand Verbiest, a member of a Jesuit mission in China, built a steam-powered vehicle around 1672 as a toy for the Kangxi Emperor. It was small-scale and could not carry a driver, but it was quite possibly the first working steam-powered vehicle, automobile. 1.10. Steam-powered self-propelled vehicles large enough to transport people and cargo were first devised in the late 18th century. Nicholas Joseph Cugnot demonstrated his Fadia à vapeur, steam dray, an experimental steam-driven artillery tractor, in 1770 and 1771 as Cugnot's design proved to be impractical. His invention was not developed in his native France. The center of innovation shifted to Great Britain. By 1784, William Murdoch had built a working model of a steam carriage in Redruth, 11, and in 1801 Richard Trevithick was running a full-sized vehicle on the roads in Camborne. 19th century. A replica of Richard Trevithick's 1801 road locomotive Puffing Devil. During the 19th century, attempts were made to introduce steam-powered vehicles. Innovations such as hand brakes, multi-speed transmissions and better steering developed. Some successful vehicles provided mass transit until a backlash against these large vehicles resulted in the passage of legislation such as the UK Locomotives Act 1865, which required many self-propelled vehicles on public roads to be preceded by a man on foot waving a red flag and blowing a horn. This effectively halted road auto development in the United Kingdom for most of the rest of the 19th century. Inventors and engineers shifted their efforts to improvements in railway locomotives. The law was not repealed until 1896, although the need for the red flag was removed in 1878. In 1816, a professor at Prague Polytechnic, Joseph Busk, built an oil-fired steam car. 1227 Walter Hancock, builder and operator of London steam buses, in 1838 built a two-seated car Phaeton. 1227 In 1867, Canadian jeweler Henry Seth Taylor demonstrated his four-wheeled steam buggy at the Stansted Fair in Stansted, Quebec, and again the following year. 13. The basis of the buggy, which he began building in 1865, was a high-wheeled carriage with bracing to support a two-cylinder steam engine mounted on the floor. 14. In 1873, Frenchman Amédée Bollée built self-propelled steam road vehicles to transport groups of passengers. The first automobile suitable for use on existing wagon roads in the United States was a steam-powered vehicle invented in 1871 by Dr. J. W. Court, a minister of the Methodist Episcopal Church, in Racine, Wisconsin. 15. It induced the state of Wisconsin in 1875 to offer a US $10,000, equivalent to $246,758 in 2021, award to the first to produce a substitute for the use of horses and other animals. They stipulated that the vehicle would have to maintain an average speed of more than 8 km per hour, 5 miles per hour, over a 320 km, 200 mi, course. The offer led to the first city-to-city automobile race in the United States, starting on the 16th of July, 1878 in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and ending in Madison, Wisconsin, via Appleton, Oshkosh, Waupun, Watertown, Fort Atkinson, and Yanesville. While 7 vehicles were registered, only 2 started to compete, the entries from Green Bay and Oshkosh. The vehicle from Green Bay was faster but broke down before completing the race. The Oshkosh finished the 323 kilometers, 201 mi, course in 33 hours and 27 minutes and posted an average speed of 9.7 kilometers per hour, 6 miles per hour. In 1879, the legislature awarded half the prize. 16, 17, 18, 20th century. Pre-war steam-powered road vehicles, both cars and wagons, reached the peak of their development in the early 1930s with fast steaming lightweight boilers and efficient engine designs. Internal combustion engines also developed greatly during World War I, becoming simpler to operate and more reliable. The development of high-speed diesel engine from 1930 began to replace them for wagons, accelerated in the UK by tax changes making steam wagons uneconomic overnight. Although a few designers continued to advocate steam power, no significant developments in the production of steam cars took place after Doble in 1931. 1924 Doble model apostrophe. Whether steam cars will ever be reborn in later technological eras remains to be seen. Magazines such as Light Steam Power continued to describe them into the 1980s. The 1950s saw interest in steam turbine cars powered by small nuclear reactors. 1930s was also true of aircraft, but the fears about the dangers inherent in nuclear fission technology soon killed these ideas. Electric automobiles. The German Flokin Elektrowagen of 1888, perhaps the first electric car in the world. 19th century. In 1828, Ennio Szydlik, a Hungarian who invented an early type of electric motor, created a tiny model car powered by his new motor. 5. In 1834, Vermont blacksmith Thomas Davenport, the inventor of the first American DC electric motor, installed his motor in a small model car, which he operated on a short circular electrified track. 21. In 1835, Professor Sybrandas Strating of Groningen, the Netherlands, and his assistant Christopher Becker created a small-scale electrical car, powered by non-rechargeable primary cells. 22. In 1838, Scotsman Robert Davidson built an electric locomotive that attained a speed of 6.4 km per hour, 4 miles per hour. In England, a patent was granted in 1840 for the use of track-as conductors of electric current, and similar American patents were issued to Lilly and Colton in 1847. Sources point to different creations as the first electric car. Between 1832 and 1839, the exact year is uncertain, Robert Anderson of Scotland invented a crude electric carriage, powered by non-rechargeable primary cells. In November 1881, French inventor Gustave Trouve demonstrated a working three-wheeled car powered by electricity at the International Exposition of Electricity. 23. English inventor Thomas Parker, who was responsible for innovations such as electrifying the London Underground, overhead tramways in Liverpool and Birmingham, and the smokeless fuel Coalite, built an electric car in London in 1884, using his own specially designed high-capacity rechargeable batteries. 24. However, some others regard the Flokin Elektrowagen of 1888 by German inventor Andreas Flokin as the first true electric car. 20th century. Electric cars enjoyed popularity between the late 19th century and early 20th century, when electricity was among the preferred methods for automobile propulsion. Advances in internal combustion technology, especially the electric starter, soon rendered this advantage moot. The greater range of gasoline cars, quicker refueling times, and growing petroleum infrastructure, along with the mass production of gasoline vehicles by companies such as the Ford Motor Company, which reduced prices of gasoline cars to less than half equivalent electric cars, led to a decline in the use of electric propulsion, effectively removing it from important markets such as the US by the 1930s. 1997 saw the Toyota RAV4 EV and the Nissan Altra, first production battery electric cars to use NiMH and Li-ion batteries, instead of heavier lead acid, respectively. 21st century. In recent years, increased concerns over the environmental impact of gasoline cars, higher gasoline prices, improvements in battery technology, and the prospect of peak oil have brought about renewed interest in electric cars, which are perceived to be more environmentally friendly and cheaper to maintain and run despite high initial costs. Internal combustion engines. Gas mixtures. 1885 built Benz patent motor wagon, the first modern car, a practical marketable automobile for everyday, as the second Marcus car of 1875 at the Technical Museum in Vienna. The lack of suitable fuels, particularly liquids, hampered early attempts at making and using internal combustion engines. Therefore, some of the earliest engines used gas mixtures. In 1806, the Swiss engineer François Isaac de Rivaz built an engine powered by internal combustion of a hydrogen and oxygen mixture. 4. In 1826, Englishman Samuel Brown tested his hydrogen-fueled internal combustion engine by using it to propel a vehicle up Shooters Hill in southeast London. 25. 6. Etienne Lannoy's automobile with a hydrogen gas-fueled one-cylinder internal combustion engine made a test drive from Paris to Joinville-le-Pont in 1860, covering some 9 kilometers, 5.6 mi, in about 3 hours. 26. A later version was propelled by coal gas. Adelamer de Bouteville vehicle was patented and trialed in 1884. The use of autogas, LPG, or natural gas in vehicles can become sporadically popular, often depending on the supply and cost of gasoline. Gasoline. Nicolaus Otto and Eugen Langen had built a working engine in 1867. About 1870, in Vienna, Austria-Hungary, inventor Siegfried Marcus put a liquid-fueled internal combustion engine on a simple handcart, which made him the first man to propel a vehicle by means of gasoline. Today, this is known as the first Marcus car, but would be better described as a cart. His second car, built and run in 1875, was the first petrol-driven car and is housed at the Vienna Technical Museum. 27. 28. In 1883, Marcus secured a German patent for a low-voltage ignition system of the magnetotype. This was his only automotive patent. During his lifetime, he was honored by some as the originator of the motor car, but his place in history was all but erased by the Nazis during World War II. Because Marcus was of Jewish descent, the Nazi propaganda office ordered his work to be destroyed, his name expunged from future textbooks, and his public memorials removed. 29. John Nixonov. The London Times in 1938 considered Marcus' development of the motor car to have been experimental, as opposed to Carl Benz, who took the concept from experimental to production. Nixon described Marcus cars as impractical. 30. Benz built his first automobile, the Benz patent motor car, in 1885 in Mannheim. It is considered the first modern car, a practical, marketable automobile for everyday use, and the first car put into serious production. 31. Benz was granted a patent for his automobile on the 29th of January 1886. 32, and began the first production of automobiles in 1888, after Bertha Benz, his wife, had proved with the first long-distance trip in August 1888, from Mannheim to Forchheim and back, that the horseless coach was capable of extended travel. Since 2008, a Bertha Benz memorial route commemorates this event. 33, soon after, Gottlieb Daimler and Wilhelm Maybach in Stuttgart in 1889 designed a vehicle from scratch, an automobile, rather than a horse-drawn carriage fitted with an engine. They also are usually credited with invention of the first motorcycle in 1885. 12. 26. In 1891, John William Lambert built a three-wheeler in Ohio City, Ohio, which was destroyed in a fire the same year, while Henry Nadick constructed a four-wheeler in Allentown, Pennsylvania. 12. 25. The first four-wheeled petrol-driven automobile in the United Kingdom was built in Walthamstow by Frederick Brummer in 1892. 34. Another was made in Birmingham in 1895 by Frederick William Lanchester, who also patented the disc brake. The first electric starter was installed on an Arnold, an adaptation of the Benz Velo, built in Kent between 1895 and 1898. 12. 25. George Footfoss of Sherbrooke, Quebec built a single-cylinder gasoline car in 1896 which he drove for 4 years, ignoring city officials' warnings of arrest for his mad antics. 13. Eras of invention. Horseless carriage or veteran era. The Selden road engine. The American George